Before the world began, before land, sea, or even light existed, there were beings who dwelled in the eternal. Among them, one shone brighter than all, Lucifer, the light-bearer. But this very being would become the symbol of the first rebellion in sacred history. Why did a perfect angel fall? What happened in that ancient realm before time itself? Part 1. The first light. Long before the stars were born, long before the earth had shape, there was the throne eternal. And from that throne came light. And from that light came beings of brilliance, angels too many to count, radiant and strong. Among them, one stood above the rest, Lucifer, which means light-bearer. Lucifer wasn't just admired, he led. He stood at the throne's edge, chief among cherubim, the guardian of divine order. The heavens resounded with harmony. There was no sorrow, no death, no conflict, just endless praise, endless peace. Thought Balloon, Part 2, the seed of pride. But within that peace a thought began to flicker. Lucifer, radiant as he was, saw his own reflection and marveled. Why must I serve when I shine like the morning? Why must I bow when I command such awe? That was the first spark, a thought, then a belief. Lucifer began to whisper to others. We were not created to obey, but to rise. And many listened. Crossed Swords, Part 3, the first rebellion. Then came the declaration, the first cosmic rebellion. Lucifer, standing tall before the host of heaven, proclaimed, I will ascend to the heights. I will raise my throne above the stars of God. I will be like the Most High. This was not mere arrogance. It was open revolt. But heaven did not remain silent. Another prince rose, Michael, archangel of the armies of light. And war broke out, not with blades or fire, but with power that tore the very heavens. The battle raged. Angels clashed, light against twisted light. And in the end, Lucifer fell. He and the angels who followed him were cast out, hurled from the heights into the deepest chasm, a place apart from the light, the abyss. New Moon, Part 4, a new name, Satan. Lucifer, once light-bearer, now bore a new name, Satan, the adversary. Once a prince of harmony, he became the echo of rebellion. But Satan did not accept defeat. He had lost heaven, but not his will. And now, he turned his gaze toward a new creation, humanity. If he could not rule the heavens, he would corrupt the ones made in God's image. Snake, Part 5, the beginning of his revenge. And so, in a garden called Eden, Satan appeared, not with force, but as a whisper, a serpent in the trees. He did not shout. He questioned, did God really say you must not eat from any tree? You won't die. You'll become like gods. And with that, the fall of humanity began. The serpent never needed to fight, only to suggest. Cyclone, Part 6, meaning behind the myth. Lucifer's story isn't just about one being. In many ways, Satan doesn't conquer through might. He conquers through deception. He turns what is good into doubt. He turns trust into suspicion. He doesn't need armies, just your attention. Glowing Star, Part 7. True victory does not begin in heaven. But even after the fall, even after Eden, the story did not end in darkness. Throughout the scriptures, light reappears, not as blinding judgment, but as gentle redemption. Through prophets, kings, and finally, one man, Jesus, the light entered the world again. Lucifer's fall wasn't the final word. Grace would answer pride. Love would answer rebellion. Microphone. Ending. Call to action. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe. We follow Satan again, this time into the desert.